Victor Charles performed in the television program Night Gallery, titled A Midnight Visit to the Neighborhood Blood Bank, and it was released on November 17, 1971. He performed with Bob Crane, Joanne Worley, and Victor Charles played in the role of Count Dracula. On November 24, 1971, Victor Charles had signed a contract to co-star with Robert Mitchum in MGM's motion picture Wrath of God, starring with Rita Hayworth. Soon thereafter, Victor Charles performed in a short 28-minute film in the trial of Socrates about the life and death of Socrates and Galileo. There were many protests of various cultural issues facing us in 1971, and my Uncle Victor Charles stepped into the arena to voice his own protest to America. On December 9, 1971, disc jockey Clive Thomas of WFBM AM radio broadcasted my Uncle Victor Charles' controversial poem, Suffer the Children. There were many listeners that were strongly offended when hearing it. The nature of the poem he wrote had to do with the connection between Christmas and gifts of toy pistols and rifles for children, and the violence that went with them both. My step-grandfather, Victor Francis, was assisting Victor Charles at that time, and on December 31st, 1971, he read another one of his controversial poems on the Johnny Carson show that had people scratching their heads of his political opinions, and this is what he wrote and read. The science of acting is highly exacting, and artists cannot avoid pain. He needn't be smart, but he's got to have heart, and it helps if you're slightly insane. The great ones are gone, Ethel, Loyal John, and Laurie, the sweet Gothic elf. We've lost Lawton and Wynne, Greenstreet and Flynn, and I don't feel too well myself. But this current desire for scanty attire leaves actors like me in a daze. To be poised and composed with your bottom exposed ain't required in most classical plays. There are movies and plays being offered these days that look, smell, and sound much the same as basketball teams snapping towels in the steam in the locker room after a game. The language is crude, the characters rude, the actions I can't even mention. The emotions are raw as the ones that we saw at the last Democratic convention. So don't bother gaining professional training, and don't even bother rehearsing. Be a star overnight in the critics' delight. Just take off your pants and start cursing. At the beginning of 1972, I was living in San Luis Obispo, California. My girlfriend, Christy Lynn Monson, left Colorado and came to live with me. We soon moved up to a ranch in the rolling hills of King City, California, and after a short period of time, we married in San Diego. We didn't stay there long because we traveled across America to visit with her grandparents in Glen Ellen near Chicago, Illinois, and then we left America to live in Toronto, Canada. Those were the fun days, seeing and experiencing the different locations and new cities and states of America, and being a part of a whole young generation forging our country into something much better. Christy was 21 and I was 19, and we were living in a 4-story half house in the heart of Toronto City, and we got around the town on the clean and beautiful young subway. One of the first things we did was watching Gilda Radner and Martin Short performing in the stage production of Godspell at the Royal Alexandra Theatre in 1972. The theatrical experience of seeing that fabulous production was a bright encouragement to me, and I believe it helped me later on to become an actor. Victor Charles was still performing his one-man shows around America in 1972, and he was at West Virginia Tech on January 27, 1972, performing his Just We Three production. Free of charge was the trick for Victor Charles by booking ladies' clubs and universities who paid him a commission so he could achieve two important necessities of winning the confidence of his audiences and also helping him to survive as an actor. Oftentimes tarnished image when performing in poor quality motion pictures and in buffoonery television programs. There were no more Betty Davises, Joan Crawfords, Frank Sinatras, or Dean Martins to lift his image up to the ceiling, or any Academy nominees, because it was only Victor Charles now, all alone, and keeping him afloat. When we take a moment to stop and question, what kind of career would Victor Charles had in motion pictures and television programs had he not performed in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? And if he hadn't received an Academy Award nominee for Best Supporting Actor? This phenomenon of Victor Charles in 1962 and 1963 was a given gift from above that kept him galvanized within the Hollywood circles for the rest of his entire life.